facts as we know them, when we know them, and how they affect you. Every Monday through to Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. This will be your most authentic news experience starting now on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This is Hard Facts.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Good afternoon, Lagos. Welcome to Hard Facts. We're reaching you live from our audio-visual studios on Etimi and Crescent Victoria Island, Lagos, Nigeria. Wherever you are, welcome to Nigeria's biggest current affairs show in the evening. The entire Lagos is listening to the show right now, and we'll bid you welcome. I am Sheriff. You can watch live on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can be a part of this conversation that we're about to have. We're going to start with the big three, of course. That's how we usually start. The big three starts the show, and when we're done with the big three, we'll bring you eyewitness for today, right? And then after eyewitness at 5 o'clock, we have the big hard facts for you, where we'll be talking about agriculture, food inflation, food sufficiency, or food scarcity, as the case may be. That's our conversation. We want to look at how we have managed the issue of food inflation. We're crossing 40% already in terms of food inflation in Nigeria. That's incredibly insane, really. So we'll have that conversation at 5 o'clock. I've got an expert on the show that will be digging down into that particular subject. So you're welcome to come along. It's highly interactive. It's informative. You don't want to miss it for anything. And we're streaming live, so you can always watch, even if you don't want to listen to the radio. You can watch on Facebook and on YouTube and drop your comment as we go along on the show today. So if you're good to go, I am ready, Lagos. Let's get started with the big three, shall we?
This isn't a Game of Thrones. It's the game of information.
The German foreign minister went to Beijing to reaffirm that Europe would not let China invade Taiwan.
More information.
Government can't keep taking the fall for your own mess, for your own mistakes.
And more information.
We did some work on the Third Mainland Bridge before. Where are there potholes now?
You want to play?
Political way to distort. Let me tell you.
It's game on. Let the games begin.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three. On Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Here we go. We got three stories for you. Let's start with the one you just heard in the news. Lagos to introduce or reintroduce monthly environmental sanitation exercise. That story has been in the news all day. So the Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, we hear that he has approved the reintroduction of monthly environmental sanitation exercise in the state. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokunbo Wahab, made this known. He said that the Executive Council has also given its approval for the reintroduction of the monthly exercise. He said the sanitation, which would commence this month, July, so in the next couple of weeks, be ready, be prepared, and have it at the back of your mind that the monthly sanitation exercise will commence this July. And he said the governor will make the announcement. Much later on. Okay, now there are issues regarding this particular move by the state government. You know that is why you have us. You know now. That is why we're here. To bring the other side of the story, in fact, all the sides of the story to the table. Let me have you know that there is no law in place empowering the government or any law enforcement agencies to restrict the movement of Nigerians on days designated as environmental sanitation days. There is no law. If there is a law, please send me that part of the law. Now, I'm basing this on previous two court decisions that have settled this matter completely. One of those decisions settled by the court of law was of the case instituted by senior advocate Ebun Adegboruwa. At that time, he wasn't even a senior advocate when he instituted that case. He challenged the restriction imposed on residents of Lagos State on days set aside for environmental sanitation. He went to court because At some point, he was arrested. He was detained by officials of Lagos State government on allegations that he refused to stay indoors on what do we used to call it? Sanitation, Abi? On sanitation day. So after the case, he went to court, Federal High Court, and he prayed the court for a declaration that the monthly sanitation exercise is illegal and obnoxious. And he put forward his argument, he put forward the laws I was looking at. Because of time, Justice Idris at the time held that such freedom, as in freedom to move around, freedom to move as a citizen of this country, that's freedom of movement now, cannot be taken away by executive proclamation. Say because the governor said, or the executive said something, that without a law backing it, it can't hold. So that particular law was set aside. The second event that happened that the court also ruled against the government of Lagos State was that of one Faith Okafor. She was arrested by officials of the Lagos State government for violating sanitation laws as well, for that movement restriction order. She was arraigned before a special offences court. In fact, she pleaded guilty. And then she was fined 2,000 naira. I think she paid 2,000 naira, otherwise she wouldn't have been out. But then she filed a court action against the Lagos State government at the time and the Attorney General of Lagos State. And she claimed that her arrest and detention, whatever it is they did to her at the time, amounted to infringement on her right to personal liberty, on her right to freedom of movement. You know what happened? Her case was dismissed at the High Court in Lagos here, but then she went to the Court of Appeal. And the Court of Appeal heard her case and held that the infringement on Okafor's right to freedom of movement could not be justified under provisions of Section 41(2)(a) of the 1999 Constitution. The Appeal Court concluded the judgment in the case by making a declaration that in the absence of a written law prescribing the same, the Lagos State government's directive for people in Lagos to stay at home and not move about, thereby restricting their movement within the stated hours of the last Saturday of every month, is unlawful, is illegal, and unconstitutional. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm only telling you all sides of these development stories, this particular story. I'm only telling you all sides. I'm not saying that you should disobey the state government, but you just have to know that there is this other side to the story as well. Now, will the state government be arresting people who don't observe this exercise? Maybe when the state governor make the formal pronouncement, he will be able to explain further whether people will be arrested if they don't obey this sanitation exercise. If the state government goes on ahead and start arresting people, will they be in violation of court orders? Now, come to think of it, do you think this is a knee-jerk reaction to the current cholera outbreak in the state? Come to think of it. Well, my question is, what changed? Because 7 years ago, when this was rested, the excuse from Jide Idris, then the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, was that Lagos is fast turning into a mega city, so it will not be right to stop people from moving about for 3 hours in a state clamoring to be a city. So what changed now? What changed from the position earlier mentioned by the Lagos State government? You can watch on Facebook and on YouTube, by the way. Nigeria Info 99.3. That's how you can watch us. Nigeria Info 99.3 on Facebook and on YouTube. Let's go to our second story.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three on Hard Facts
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
So let's go to the Ogak Pata Pata at the national level. So the federal government, they've approved a 180 days of duty-free importation of some items. Out of the 180 days, 150 days will be duty-free. Now, these items include maize, horst brown rice, wheat. The idea behind this is to combat food inflation, hunger in the country and everything. Everybody has applauded this. I wanted to go into this, but there's a lot to unpack in this story. I don't know if I can be brief. It's almost like impossible. So let me just get to it. The Minister of Agriculture came out on Monday and said a few things about this particular. It's a long speech. In fact, the plan is actually holistic. If you look at the plan, it's very, very, very holistic. The youth to be brought in to do irrigation and all of those things. The this, the that, the state government. It's a very holistic, beautiful plan. Fantastic. And then he mentioned this duty-free tax on. First is that almost immediately that thing was said on X now, Maryann, presidential spokesperson, came out to counter that and said that the measures stated by the Minister of Agric, Senator Quadry, has not been finalized. I mean, to me, that's Igbaju. You know, when they give somebody Igbaju, that's a pure slap on the minister's face to start with, to begin with. Like, seriously, what is... I know the angle from which you want to tackle this from, but I am particularly interested in what is going on with this administration. The way they tackle themselves publicly is almost like there is disarray, complete disarray within the rank of people in that administration. You remember the last one between the same Bayo Ononuga and Ajuri Ngilale? And now it's Bayo Ononuga and the Minister of Agric. Now, let's come back to those angles that you want to talk about. Food inflation is about, according to MBS, 40.66% right now. How effective will this particular policy, if true, because we don't even know now whether it's going to happen or not, because Bayo has said that it hasn't been finalized yet. How effective, if true, will this be in bringing down cost of food commodities? I'm guessing that we're yet to get the complete list of those food commodities. I saw yam in some report, but in many reports I did not see yam. So let me keep my yam, this thing, separate. A particular area of concern in the list, in the majority of the list that we've seen, is brown rice. People are asking, is brown rice the common man's food? Can the common man afford brown rice, or is this policy mainly for the elite? I know. Oh, release. Don't you see? Go and see the list now. It's brown rice that is there now. What happened to the common rice that we all eat? That one is not on the list. Maybe they will add it now that they are hearing us now. Maybe. Now, if we're to plan to flood the Nigerian market with the so-called imported food materials or food items, and trust me, it will improve food availability. Affordability, I don't know, because in that particular policy it stated that, you know, they're going to be regulated, they're going to regulate the price. They gave it one acronym like that in that report. I'll look for the acronym. Yeah, I found it. Recommended retail price, RRP. So they're going to regulate the price. But what happens to local producers, local farmers? What happens to their product? Because they won't be able to compete. Let's tell ourselves the truth. These produce that are coming from abroad are coming from huge industrial scale farms. Now, this is the least of my worries right now, because I have personal concern. Now, here is where my concern is. Corruption in this country is huge. It's insane. if we have not tackled the issue of corruption, somebody will not come and import some poison to us and say it's food. That's where the issue of safety comes in. What is the assurance that all safety measures will be taken to ensure whatever food commodity that is being brought into this country passes through the right channel, is vetted, is proven, is tested to be safe for the Nigerian public? Guns are bad now, but we still see guns being brought into this country. Tramadol, uncle. We still see trucks, 20-foot containers being brought in this country. Just name it. They still find their way inside this country. We have not been able to police that we have not been able to. Okay, so the issue of safety is the biggest concern for me. Yes, we've always brought, I know the argument is, but we always brought food into this country. Now, go to Sri Lanka, you see foreign food everywhere. Yes, I know that. But this is government policy. This is official now. This is a wider net now, which means there will be more players. Look at this. The population of this country is huge now. So there will be, people will flood that area. People will definitely flood the area. So safety is very paramount to me. Our third story will be after a couple of calls, and then we'll return from the break for the third story. 277-0993, 277-1993, 277-2993, and 277-3993. WhatsApp is 0809-597-5805 on WhatsApp. If you're watching on Facebook and on YouTube, I'd like to hear from you. Please drop your comment. Nigeria Info 99.3 on the two platforms. Please turn off your radio, and you've got 60 seconds to share your thought with me. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, Babala.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir.
Engineer Christian Augustine, calling from Ejibo.
Welcome.
Sheriff, what really matters to us now is not this environmental sanitation of Etino. What we need now is not that. See, in my place at Ilewe here in Ejibo.
Okay.
Come to that, there's a certain bus stop called Ilewe bus stop.
Okay.
That leads within the road. Look at the media, the demarcation of the road. From that place in Ilewe to OCC Junction, all are packed with safety. All of them.
So nobody is evacuating.
See, now when we never even begin to environmental sanitation, everywhere is filled up with issues. Talk less of the days we do environmental sanitation.
Right.
Where are the lawmakers to come and pack them?
Right.
That's a very silent question. Then for the rice and this thing,
you don't have time anymore.
If they
actually,
make them bring blue rice or yellow rice. Make them open border for us.
Thank you for your thought. Emeka is from Satellite. Let's speak with him. Emeka, how are you doing?
Hello, very well, Sheriff.
Yes, please.
Well done. On this issue of rejuvenating the environmental sanitation exercise,
right?
I think they will have to structure it in a way that it will not impede the movement of Nigerians. Because anything that's inconsistent with the Constitution is null and void to the extent of its inconsistency. Since we have judicial pronouncements to that effect, it should be structured in a way that every compound under the supervision of the landlord will ensure on that designated day that cleanup is done. Whether they're going to invite these northern brothers who are moving about to do it, or the tenants will have to do it, they'll do it, but they will make sure that movement of citizens of this country would not be impeded.
Right.
And for the back and forth on the waiver of rice and other commodities, Sheriff, without regulating the forex exchange, the exchange of the dollar to the naira,
I have to go now.
Instead of the transportation,
I must go now, Emeka.
Right. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Let's go to break. We'll be back. Stay here, please.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Let us dive into the heart of global affairs.
We go beyond the headlines and into the real stories shaping our world.
Why paying more than $200 million to have 1,000 Kenyan soldiers come to Haiti when we could use that money to train the police?
What you've done with your grief is actually to spread it and give it and turn it into the love.
This served Netanyahu because he didn't think Hamas would ever be a serious military threat.
Congo is a country with so much wealth. The people have been fighting to regain control.
From the corridors of power to the front lines of change. Borderline brings you in with analysis of the issues.
The US has power over them. Most of them will steal money from Haiti and invest in the US.
Some people who support Sonko and Jumai 5, over half of them don't have a voter's card.
Sounds like Nigeria.
Join Ireti Bakari Yusuf on Borderlines as she engages with policymakers and thought leaders,
giving you perspectives and insights you won't find anywhere else.
Be part of the conversation. Join us live.
Your voice matters on Borderlines as we explore the complexities.
Every Friday at 4 p.m.
on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Stay informed, stay engaged.
Step into the conversation.
The I Beg to Differ debate tournament, the Nationals, is coming. August 12th in Lagos. Witness the brightest minds from across the country in a battle of intellect and eloquence.
Have you ever wondered if controlling resources will be the key to dismantling?
Yes, a child has not been properly academically satisfied.
Has such person not also get experience, like your fifth point?
Experience fierce competition.
Peace cannot be kept by force. It's not because there's natural resources there.
Persuasive arguments.
I believe that through a balanced approach to religion and education.
Don't you think that such a person is old enough to decide?
And innovative thinking.
By 1985, the poverty level was below 46%.
If they don't have money for tuition, are you saying they are not going to be accountable?
Whether you're a debater or a spectator, mark your calendars for August 12, 2024. I Beg to Differ, the Nationals in Lagos, Nigeria. Get ready to be part of history. For sponsorship and other inquiries, call Lagos Larry Griffin 0706 827 1163, Shola Kolade 0907 173 3835, or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Students Debates Competition, the Tournament of Champions.
.3 Nigeria Info.
Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three. On Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to the Big Three here on Nigeria Info 99.3 2770993 2771993 2772993 and 2773993. The code to use when you're calling these numbers is 0201. That is the code, access code to all of the numbers, 0201. And WhatsApp is 0809 597 5805. Good afternoon to you.
Afternoon, sir.
Yes, please.
My name is Mr. I'm going from VI.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. You see, without the dollar coming down,
yeah,
the price will still be high.
Mm.
And apart from that one, we are talking about the local DC farmers. We have been giving them enough time since 2019 till date. Nothing happened. Sir, Nigeria needs food. Things food are very, very expensive. So Nigeria needs food, whether local farmers or not. Nigerians.
So you don't think the move would make the food cheaper because dollar will still be very high?
But then the dollar will still be very high. But if the dollar can come down, and since we have the local farmers since 2019 we are hungry. They cannot do anything. We have given them enough time. If government wants to bring food from other countries,
they can bring it.
Yes, I support it.
All right. Thank you for calling me. Good afternoon to you.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, my name is Marco from Festa.
Welcome.
Yeah. For the monthly sanitation, I would rather await the formal declaration and know the modalities.
Yeah.
Maybe there will be no restriction as in the strict sense of restriction.
In terms of movement restriction, right?
Yeah, maybe they will come into an area, massively storm an area, clean up the area, work with the people. Who will wait. And because if there's a substituting court ruling, people will still go to court and to So it doesn't make sense. So they should work out another plan to get around it. People want to live in a clean environment.
Right.
Then,
right.
With respect to importation, open the border, close the border.
Yeah.
All I have to say, President Tinubu, please get a plan. Get an economic plan. Even if it takes 6 months to develop, please do that. And get timeline, get action, and follow it. So that you don't come today, and involve all your ministers. Bring it, let everybody have it.
Thank you.
It in front of their table.
Thank you.
So that we can follow it. There's no plan. And
Thank you.
It's unfortunate. Thank you.
Thank you for your thought. I appreciate it. Raprochiko joins us now. Raprochiko, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, Mr. Sharif.
Yes, please.
I greet you.
I salute you.
Okay. You see, on 150 free import duty days. Well, Sharif, there is fire on the mountain, honestly. I can tell you, some businesses are frustrated.
Do you think this policy will work? What are your concerns about this policy?
I tell you, it's not work. I don't believe this administration.
Why don't you think it will not? Why don't you think it will work?
Why do they bring a condition on it? Why 150 days? Why not make it their tenure?
You don't think they can just use the first 150 days to test run it to see the impact before they will now extend it?
They have failed us before. They have told us what is not sustainable.
So what would you want? They should just leave it open. No put the dates there. No limit. No expiry date.
Put it on their tenure. See, let me tell you. All they say is, to me, is grammar and vernacular. Let Nigeria go into famine. If you don't see brown rice, you eat cocoyam. If you don't see cocoyam, go on and eat yam.
All right, thank you.
They all the same carbohydrates.
Thank you, Raprochiko.
Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. Thank you. As a matter of fact, I was saying the other time that the plan that the Minister of Agri rolled out is a very broad plan. Guess what? The plan that he rolled out even includes this thing that we spoke about. The First Lady, it actually includes that is in the plan as well. It's a very broad plan, like beautiful plan, broad. In fact, it touches almost every area, really. Just in a bid to make food cheaper and affordable. Good afternoon to you. Yes, please. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't hear you well, sir. Do try and call me back. Good afternoon to you. That caller is gone. Let's take another call. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please.
Good afternoon.
We're greeting you too. Please turn off your radio quickly.
I'm out of that place.
Okay.
Thank you so much. God bless you for good job, this market woman.
Welcome.
We want something that will be going, not something that will go on for 6 months. So, you know what happened to me, Oga Sheriff?
Oh, yeah, no.
You know, I only complain about my business.
Mm-hmm.
Before June, the man that will give me goods, he then informed me that her price is going to go down, that I should not bother to order for goods. I said, okay, that's good. I stopped. I didn't buy anything. All my shop, nothing. I was just waiting for the goods to come down.
To come down, Abi.
When we just enter July, Abi, before June, I tell you, each bag of flour, they put 3,000. 3,500. I said 3,000. I said, what? It's like something. I don't know what happened to me when I said, And this man said me that company said they are going to reduce all those products. I said, okay, it's fine. But I don't like the way this country is going, Oga Sheriff. Let them do something. We don't want 6 months, 3 months. Let them do something, please.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your thought. Let's take Idris's call, then we move to take messages. Let's see if we can speak to Idris now. Hi, Idris. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for this, what you bring today.
Thank you.
These food suppliers, they exist during Shagari period.
Okay.
Anybody that above 50 years, they can start to eat. They call it national supply. They have a should decide.
Okay.
On a solo side.
Okay.
Yes, they exist. It's not a new thing. But what I'm expecting you people to do now is to station a person near their store, anywhere they store their goods, so know what is going on there. To be giving people in time every time to time the price the quality of the food they bring, that people will be know what is going on. But this year, it's not a new thing. They call it national supply during Shagari period.
Okay.
Anybody that was 50, 60, they will know this one thing.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you too for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. Now let's go take some messages on WhatsApp. Call us. Give me some moment. Let me just go through the messages that I have here. The backlog is insane, so just give me some moment, okay? So I have this one that says, in developed societies, food security is backed up by government's deliberate policies, policy formulation and programs. And it says, just a moment, something's blocking my view. Let me get rid of it. Okay. It says, deliberate policy formulation and programs that guarantee farmers' activities to carry out farming without necessarily being afraid of an abrupt change of policies that would directly or indirectly affect their investment. This came in from AA. Thank you. It used to be sweet back in the day, waking up on the environmental day to know that it will be a full street. Those way go play ball. Those way go gather, they drink beer for street, go they drink. Anyways, it's a welcome development by me. That's Olusoga Ajayi, who is more interested in the ball thing. I will honestly support this idea of bringing back the monthly sanitation. Reason, most Lagosians don't make out time to clean their environment. And I use my street as an example. Unlawful or not, we need a special day to clean our environment, since those government agencies who supposed to go home to check all this is not functioning. As Ralph from Satellite who dropped that. Ralph, thank you for your thoughts. And this person says, please, which one is brown rice? I don't know it. Oh, sorry. There's brown rice. They are brown. They are just the way they are. And some people call them, what's this thing that they cook in party again? What's this thing? Some people call them ofada. But there are other brown rice. There are other type of rice. You see red rice. This one says, until the Lagos State government appeal the judgment and that will upturn the High Court verdict, I will never obey government's directive on environment. See, if you don't obey, you're on your own. My own is just to give you all the sides of the story. Larry, again, you're on your own. Chris is in Accra. Chris says, what is going on with this administration? It's not only this administration. It was the same with last administration. That's APC's DNA. They were born to be an opposition. CPC, AD, ABGA, New PDP, AMPP, they were all opposition parties. That's why they oppose themselves. Chris. All right, so let's take another one from Nee. Nee says, FG approving duty-free for some food items for some days to fight food inflation audio. Shows this government is reactive as usual. So it is now the FG realizing food inflation is killing Nigerians. There's a time lag from policy announcement to execution and to impact assessment. What exactly was science and logic in the choice of food items approved for the so-called duty-free? Sheriff, follow the money in this. Some APC people about to blow. They're about to blow with this. I'm also concerned on the quality of the food items to be imported and safety. Another dumping ground for some expired food items out there. Nigeria is a notorious dumping ground. That's Ni Amole who dropped that here. Ni, thank you for sharing your thoughts. I'm going to quickly cross over to Facebook. Ayo on Facebook says, concerning the introduction of the Environmental Sanitation Day, the issue is not having a special day, but about people actually cleaning up their environment. I don't think there is any need for a special day, but that people who don't keep their environment clean should be sanctioned and fined. There is no need to restrict people's movement. That's Ayo Johnson on Facebook Live. We're streaming on Facebook, by the way. We're also live on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can join the conversation on Facebook and on YouTube. 3:39 is the time. How about we head back to the telephone lines right now? Let's take more calls in. Please make sure that you stay within 60 seconds, okay? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm Mickey Wales. I'm calling from Nepal.
Mickey Way, okay.
Mickey Wales.
Oh, where is that? Okay.
Yeah. So, Sheriff, I don't understand the indices they believe for.
The what? The indices what?
Because the food inflation. They say 40%.
40.66, yes.
Abi?
Yes, go on.
40%, but for example, the gari we were buying for 1,200 is now 4,500. Is that 40% increase? So then you look at also rice. Rice was started at 5,000. Now it's about 70,000-80,000. So I don't understand how they arrived at that.
No, exactly, because you don't understand it, so it doesn't mean that it's wrong.
That is why I ask. No, that's what I'm asking. Maybe you can.
No, I can't explain it. I can't explain it, but I can tell you that if there is any government agency that you should believe, okay, maybe not you should believe, you should consider it's MBS. And it's not the way you have analyzed it, that's how they calculate inflation. No, it's not by percentage they calculate inflation. What they have released is just an aggregate of research that they've done. So they didn't just do price of Gary alone, then they put it. No, that's not how it's done. It's food inflation, not just Gary, not just beans, not just rice. No, it's an aggregate of the research work that they've done, and I cannot explain it to you because I am not an expert in it. But I appreciate the fact that you raised it. I appreciate that fact. It's what's raising, actually. Good afternoon to you.
Sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother.
Good afternoon.
Can play for me, Quadry?
Let's hear you.
Yeah, my brother. Yes, I love what you said concerning the sanitary activities.
Okay.
But you see where our problem is coming, Sheriff?
Tell me.
I think it's from the Constitution of Nigeria.
Okay.
All these things are embedded there. And if somebody offended a state government law, and he went to Federal High Court, and they were overturned, and they were using it against. I love the analysis anyway. But if, like now I have a home, Sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
So does it mean that I don't know what is good in my home? Will I be emulating from other people? If I put my own private order, I think that work for me positively. I think it's supposed to work for people that are living in that state. I am not from Lagos State. But if you know what is good, why can't we obey that 2-hour, 3-hour order? Must we wait because there's a constitution that is against what they are doing? Then because they have it, then we will go to that place and they overturn it. No, it doesn't work for me, my brother.
Okay.
It's a good idea. So let's go back to our own statuses so that everything will work.
Right. I like in fact, I like the way you put it. It doesn't work for me. Aha. So those that the other parts too did not work for, they went to court. That's why I said I like the way you put it. It doesn't work for me. That's personal. I like it. Peter is joining us now. Peter, how are you doing?
Good evening.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Peter. Welcome. Good.
I think the environmental sanitation resuscitation was due to this cholera outbreak.
Cholera outbreak, okay.
I don't know what Lagos State will do about cholera or all other diseases without water. Recently, we heard in the news that Lagos State Water Corporation staff was laid off because they cannot provide water. I remember vividly that their water was constructed with World Bank loan. Now it was stuck. It's no more in production. And their water is to supply Victoria Island and all the islanders. But in Lagos now, there is no water. Before 1999, we used to bath under pipe bone water. They can't control. We don't have good supply of water in Lagos, and it's there before. And I knew that before now we have 24 water works in Lagos, scattered around Lagos. All of them in Victoria Island. There is a water corporation road there. If you can remember, Sheriff.
I know the place. Yes.
And they are not producing water, and they want to control diseases. I don't know how they are going to do it.
All right.
They are preaching about the bush.
Thank you.
They don't face reality.
Thank you, sir.
They said the Minister of Environmental and Water Resources. I don't know whether water for beach or whatever. I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. Thank you for your thought. Thank you for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. Let me take another call. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Sherry.
Yes, please.
My name is Peter Usifo. I'm calling from Abanoja.
Good afternoon, Mr. Peter.
For the Environmental Sanitation Day matter in Lagos State,
right,
it is very much commendable. But I will advise that the executive, that is, the governor should make it an executive bill and send it to the assembly, that is the Lagos State Assembly, so that they will pass it as a law and then we give assent to it for it to be very much authentic, so that it will not become a litigation matter again. Then, as for the food matter, that is the federal government
duty-free food,
borders.
Right.
I think this is what we have been talking about. It is very also much commendable, and this shows that the government is a listening government. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu should keep it up, but again, he should try to make sure that there is price regulation as it is, so that the importers or the market women will not use as an advantage against the masses. Be that as it may, I'm also telling him that he should cut down the cost of governance.
Okay.
It is being done in Kenya. So this cost of governance will help a lot. He knows what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your thought. Seems like you guys are paddy, personal paddy like that, eh? Well, thanks for calling me. Good afternoon to you. Yes, I can hear you. I can't hear you again. Yes, I can't hear you again. I don't know.
Thank you, Mr. You see, can you hear me well now?
Yes, please go on, sir.
God bless you, Mr. Quadry. I want to appeal to Mr. President. What he said yesterday about this coming in, no pay of tax, no duty, is welcomed by the majority of Nigeria. That 5 months is something. But before the expiration of that 5 months, we need mechanized farming in this country. This local, the federal, the state, we have to build a lot of storage. Prepare for our farmer by needing fertilizer, 0% interest. So if we do this for them, they will go to the land. After they do that crop, the harvest is buy and store for the rainy day. So they will be able to go to the land. And the federal government itself, the government, they have to go to mechanize this farming. Buy a lot of tractors, provide more, everything that they need. Plus people, those who can work in the construction company, Mr. Quadry, they can work in the farm. We have the grain that
Thank you.
we can feed ourselves.
Thank you, sir.
For us.
You have said it. You have actually said it. And just to add to what you have said, the plan that I saw, contains everything you have mentioned right now. I mean, it's a very holistic plan. The problem is implementation, as usual. We know what we do with money, especially politicians. We know what they do with money anytime government gives them money to go and do something. So that's usually the problem. Implementation. Remember the other lady that was said now to be, that's been asked to return over 700 billion. Yeah, 700 million, 700 billion. You know, yeah. So the problem is implementation, really. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, sir. My name is Kokwete, calling you from Jakonde. Mr. Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Talk to this your government. Let them do good for us. Dan, all these stories.
Which of these stories are you reacting to?
About the food.
The food inflation.
The food is too expensive.
Okay. So my question to you is: so you support the move to remove duty, tax, tariff from some food to be imported, right? So that they can bring down the food prices.
Sir, my answer is let them do good to the people. We are all black. A black man is a black man.
It's not about okay, but thank you for calling me. I think your point is noted. Let's not waste time on that. Good afternoon to you.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, please. Good afternoon.
That's what they call planning.
Okay.
Like in planning, there is a time period that will be fixed for the execution of it. And there is always a feedback when you review it. If something is not working, there is a room for it to be reviewed. And I believe that, and there is what we call short term, medium term, and long term.
Right.
Short term, that is what the government can do anyway. When they are affected, they ask people to go and fast with the Buhari era, but we have not been able to produce something that
we can be thankful for change.
Hmm.
And the value change keeps increasing because garri is not only for drinking or for making a vehicle. The Chinese, the Indians are taking it for drugs and for other things, as well as yam. And that means you have to increase productivity. In the short term, can it be done? No. That means in the medium term, that is when it can be accomplished.
Right.
And the short time is about 6 months. So I don't know what we are complaining about again. It should not be done. It will not be done. Let us have a positive thinking in everything that we do in Nigeria. Some of us are becoming too negative, and we are being reinforced with that. We will see everything in negative form. Good evening.
Well said, sir. Thank you for sharing your thought. Appreciate it. Well said. I think he has, on Bayo Nonuga, I think he has become ill-natured in handling certain information. He is a spokesperson, not a minister. He has no cabinet. He's causing a lot of problems here and there. He needs to be trained. Yomi from Murio Kola sent that in. Yomi, thank you for sharing your thoughts. I've got another one from Coyote. Coyote says, Coyote, thank you for the kind words. You are far too kind. Thank you. Let me take another message quickly now. The government should have never banned the importation of these food commodities in the first instance. The annoying thing about the government banning commodities is the fact that banning the commodity doesn't rid the country of it. Rather, it makes it more expensive. Lifting the import tariff for 150 days, a fancy phrase for 5 months. What happens after then? That's Chinonso from Aja who is asking this question. Chinonso, thank you. So I am not sure that the government has closed the gate or closed the door on extending this if they have not achieved what they intended to achieve from the beginning. So let's not be too much in a hurry to say that the time is too short. That's what I was telling that caller the other time. Danjuma from Agbara says there is no safety in Nigeria for now, Sheriff. It is a personal thing. APC government cannot guarantee our safety. That's Danjuma who is talking, who sent that message in. Papa J is in Magbo. Papa J says, President Tinubu, APC has absolutely nothing to offer Nigerians. Imagine suspending the policy on food importation. Was that not propaganda and lies? They talk like from the two sides of their mouth. I'm sorry for Nigerians who put their hope in this focus-less government. That's how he put it. But thank you, Papa J, for sharing your thought. This person says, will Loma pack it at once after you remove dirt from drainage? That's John Doe from Songwater. John Doe, thank you. That's a big question mark. I mean, the question mark on that particular comment is as big as Lagos itself. Robert is here, and Robert says, nothing this government with their summer sorting policies will do that suits me. APC government has no solution to Nigeria's problem. It's a pity that they are in power. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Steve is in Ijaniki. Steve says, what choose the compulsory creation of Environmental Sanitation Day when the real law breakers are the government agencies who don't ever do their jobs? Where are all the local government officials who are supposed to check what is happening within their environment? How effective is Loma that has allowed Lagos to become a mega slum instead of a mega city? They have simply failed in the act of government and governance, and they know what exactly to do again. Oh, they do. Okay, all right. Thank you, Steve. I have to start packing right now for our second conversation. Let's look at, I want you to tell me about your environment in terms of sanitation in our eyewitness in the next hour. Let's, if you want to talk about something else, it's okay. It's welcome, right? I welcome it. But let's talk about sanitation on our streets, in our communities. Let's begin that conversation from there. Let's extend this environmental sanitation conversation into the 4 o'clock hour if you can afford to. But if you can't, like you have an urgent matter to discuss in terms of what you've witnessed in this week so far, from last week Tuesday to this very moment, you're welcome to share it. I'll be right back after the news. Stay here, please.
You are listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.